Let's talk Tanya for the 23rd of Tishrei, Simchas Torah of a leap year. Today we start chapter 24 in Igeres HaKodesh. As we mentioned in the beginning of the previous letter, with the birth of Chasidus, also came along the inception of Hasidic communities and Hasidic shuls, and there are quite a few letters that the Alter Rebbe sent to the newly formed Hasidic communities, talking to them about the protocols, how a Hasidic shul should operate. So in last letter, there the Alter Rebbe spoke about the problem of speaking before and after davening, and also very specifically, the Alter Rebbe speaks over there about what happens between Mincha and Ma'ariv on a daily basis. And in this letter, which we're going to start today, the Alter Rebbe tackles head on the topic of talking during davening. So apparently, Ein davar chadash tachas hashemesh, nothing really is new. And the phenomenon of talking during davening is not something which was born today, but 200 years ago, it existed also. And not surprisingly, in this letter, the Alter Rebbe comes out very strongly and passionately against speaking during davening. And the Alter Rebbe says it's very simple. Davening is a time when Hashem comes to shul, and He makes Himself available for us, and He wants to hear our prayers. He wants to hear what we have to tell Him. And during this time, when Hashem is present in the shul and making Himself available to us, for us to be speaking, to be chatting, whatever it may be, about your favorite chicken soup recipe, or the football scores, or how your stock portfolio is doing, whatever it may be, is just simply inappropriate. The Alter Rebbe gives an analogy. Imagine you have a king who appears before his subjects, and one of the subjects is just sitting, and as the king appears, and at this highly anticipated event, the subject is just busy chatting with the other person. Now, besides for the fact that this is a extreme personal lack of respect for the king and a breach of etiquette, it's also very disrespectful for the king. In other words, even if you don't feel that respect, and even if you don't have that feeling of awe and reverence for the king, Alter Rebbe says quite simply, pretend, fake it, act as if you have that feeling, act as if you have that appropriate reverence, and that not everyone around should see what's going on. And as mentioned, it's not only that people look at you and say, oh, what kind of person are you? It's actually highly disrespectful to the king. And that obviously carries over also in terms of Hashem, when we understand what a shul is and what davening is, that during davening, again, Hashem comes to the shul and makes Himself available to us. We realize just how disrespectful it is. And even if we don't feel that, we should act and pretend as if we feel that feeling of reverence of standing in front of Hashem, standing before Hashem. The Alter Rebbe says actually that many of the halachas, many of the laws that govern davening reflect this idea, and how that is, we will discuss in tomorrow's Tanya.